Can you give us an update about the Nairobi building? How far have you gone with the renovation of that building?
Nairobi, we have appropriated funds in the coming. What happened was we thought that under the circumstances, the Kenyan government would take on the responsibility to renovate that building. We wrote to them, but we only received 2 letters, one from His Excellency Ruto and another from the Prime Minister, His Excellency Mudavadi, registering their regret over the incident. And we have demanded for a report of what transpired. That report is also not forthcoming from their security agencies. So what we've done is we've appropriated resources in the budget, and we shall start the repairs because that building was indeed bringing in NTR.
If it
taking the legal route is unacceptable. Nobody should talk about foreign relations. When our house was destroyed. What has your ministry done in conjunction with the Attorney General to consult on the possibility of taking the Kenyan government to court? Yes, I say so because now how can somebody just say we regret when for us we have lost? We put in resources, then you say we regret, and we have lost a lot. We have lost a lot. You say we regret. What is it that we are doing in tasking the Kenyan government to do what they ought to do?
Yes, have they costed
from the consult just after, and then we did another costing thereafter, and now I think we have a figure we believe is perhaps appropriate.
That's how much?
It's around, I think, 4.5 billion. The initial one was 7 billion, and now we have one of around 4.5 billion.
And initially, how much did we use to construct that building?
Not really to construct. I think what we did was renovations. We renovated it to the tune of around 20 billion.
20, it was
24,
around 24.
24 billion.
It was 24
yes,
billion.
24
Madam Chair, you can see the cost. And just look at this, we'll be able to put in our health center 3s and 4s. Just look at it. Our troops crossed over to Congo, I'm told, some time back. And the government there took us to court that we looted some things, we did what? And now in our budget here, we are paying beyond 1 trillion shillings to the government of Congo. What is it that is rare within us here? That is East Africa. What is it that you are doing in challenging these people in the courts legally? They are even a better economy than us. Should we be donating really to Kenya when we are the ones who should be borrowing from the big brothers?
Chair.
The tear gas people were not the ones. Our tear gas was here. It didn't cross the borders.
Chair, may I also ask on those infrastructure? They are so strategic. Do you pursue an insurance policy on them?
You didn't have. Now, for that,
exactly.
During
you had an insurance.
Yeah, during this is what happens. Under construction, we handed over to the contractor. The contractor took out an insurance for the period during construction. And indeed, we did write to them because they shared that insurance with us. And initially, they led us on, asking us questions and so on and so forth. And then a time came when they said, no, we are not responsible. And they put it in writing. So when they said they were not responsible, we consulted the contract, the insurance. I think it was the insurance company wrote back to the contractor to say they were not liable. So we got their opinion and subjected it to the Solicitor General. And I think the Solicitor General came back to us and said they agreed with them that they were not liable.
And Chair, Madam Chair.
My interest in it, such facilities located in a prime BCD, they are prone to those uncertainties. Therefore, it is risky for you to have those facilities and you don't have an insurance cover. Even if it's a private property, you have it in that kind of location, you would prudently pursue an insurance policy on it. Now, how on earth does the whole Uganda has a facility where you have invested crucial sums of money and you have no insurance policy? And here you are now go, and so we need to investigate. Can you have those correspondences between the the insurer and the opinion of the Solicitor General?
Yes, we have them. We can share them. Madam Chair, we can.
And honorable colleagues, if I can give you some little bit embassy. By the time that that incident happened, the contractor had not handed over the building. Are we right? The building was still under construction. And just imagine, was all the 24 billion paid? It was fully paid. The contractor was fully paid. We don't know whether by the time of the riot, everything had been done. It was closed at that. So we are talking about insurance, but remember, the premises were within the hands of the contractor. They had not transferred because the premises were still under construction. So, Honorable Chair, I don't know how we can handle, but there are contractual obligations.
Madam Chair, can I?
Honorable Emily.
Yes, thank you very much.
When the building was fully under the contractor.
No, the question we should be asking, which risk? Because there is a risk under construction, but there is a risk of the landlord. And with insurance, with all its principles, you need to look at the insurable risks. And also the principle of what was the good face.
The force majeure.
Madam Chair.
This structure had been completed around April. In fact, a week before the riots, the Ministry of Finance, PSST, and I think Honorable Matia Kasaija were going to have the structure handed over to us. The construction had been complete. Everything had been complete, and the technical handover had been done. And all that evidence is available. So on, I don't remember the date, June, 28th of June was the official communication. So a week before, 25th of June, is when now the fire the burning happens, and so on and so forth. Now, we shall provide the information, our correspondences, really, requesting that the insurance company on the other side makes good. Initially, they asked us questions, as I said earlier, and actually we were hopeful that the insurance was going to cover us. And then at one point, they write back to say, no, it is out of their scope. So we send their opinion to Solicitor General, and Solicitor General writes back to us to say they agree with them, and I think in that correspondence, they outline reasons why they think that the insurance company is right.
Okay.
The technical handover means
Substantive policy maker like a minister to answer. But what begs a question for us all as a country is, why do we get targeted in Nairobi? Why do we get targeted in Kinshasa? Why do people group us among those they target? Because they were not at random, they were very specific. They go for Brussels, they go for France, they go for... So it was not a sweeping. Then in Nairobi, specifically we are targeted. So that begs a question on our foreign policy, whether we are seen and grouped by the wrong elements. By the populations, we may be at par with the leadership because we have a lot in similarity. But for the citizens of those particular countries, they are looking at us as part of the contributors of what they go through in their life. And on their good day, they are willing to pay us back in kind. That speaks volume. about our neighborhood policy. It may not be a question for you as a technical person, but I expect a sector committee to examine our conduct, our perception. You are the technical people. You must do a perception analysis. Why are we looking ugly? For the citizens, we have very good rapport. Do they people pursue us that we are more the same as the oppressors? And I think Uganda, the country, can't escape that in this scenario. Why isn't Tanzania being targeted? Okay, they are calm. So are we the only operator in the region? Why, when you go to Kinshasa, and we all know they target Rwanda and group us there together, are we innocent actors there? Definitely, we are not. We know what is happening in Kenya. Even during elections, you could see the accusations of interference. So somewhere along the way, we know where we come from. I don't think as a country we can simply put a blind eye and say, oh, this one is as an accountability committee. I think we demand police accountability. We are losing billions of taxpayers' money.
True.
Who is responsible for the misconduct in this kind of situation? So it's not as plain as it looks like, oh, we are going to pay the bill and rebuild, because you shall rebuild. Without working on those perceptions, they will still go for the building again. And then it will be back to square one. Because you can find the 7 billion. Will you stop another riot in Kenya? What if they come back for it again? Because the intention of those who cherry-picked us and lift every other building is that they wanted to send a message to us. Have we gotten the message? And I think a committee of Parliament worthwhile needs to speak true to power, that maybe our conduct in the region is being questioned by the citizens of those countries, and we are being seen as bad boys. And that's a perception. That's why we are targeted in Kinshasa, targeted. And I think even in another country, we can easily be targeted. The other day in Somalia, we are targeted. So what are we seeing in the region? And we are not innocent. We have operation there. The other day we were quarreling about gold in Congo. So really, it speaks much more than simply finding a 7 billion. But I don't know whether it's our take and whether it's an argument we will push to a sector committee to interrogate the whole parliament. It doesn't hurt us to have that in our report and say, look, we are footing this bill, but for what reason do the citizens of a particular country raise to ban our embassy?
Chair.
Dr. Nekesa.
Thank you, Chair. The substantive Chair.